So, now we're in Shiraden, or Palace of Earth Spirits, whichever you prefer, really. This is the courtyard, because if anybody knows anything about Touhou 11, that's how you get to the depths of old hell. So, before we were in hell, and we had to fix something in hell. Now that we've fixed something in hell, we've come up to the Palace of Earth Spirits to, I don't know, get back to the surface. I guess we're going by Touhou 11, but like in reverse order. Oh hey, and there's my first death by something that isn't platforming related. Anyway, this is the courtyard of the Palace of Earth Spirits. It's kind of nice looking. I like it. But I have a big problem with this level. A really big problem. And I'm going to get to it when I get to it. But for now, there's these two big sections of the Palace of Earth Spirits, or Shiraden. I'm just going to say Shiraden because it's easier to say. It's less of a mouthful. This is the first section. It's all messed up. It's got lava in it. I guess this is the Oku section of Shiraden, because they wanted to theme it after the characters, maybe. We're gonna see what the other section looks like when we get to it. So obviously there's gonna be like platforming and stuff here. Nothing you really gotta worry about. There aren't too many. Well, there aren't any. Like kind of weird long jumps or anything you have to worry about. They're all just kind of like simple little gaps like that. Some of them look a little trickier than they actually are. The camera angle doesn't do you any favors though, because it stays locked at this position. And Sakuya or Remy, whichever one you're playing as, always kind of stays like squarely in the middle of the screen. So sometimes it's a little hard to kind of see where you're going if the gap is towards the bottom of the screen and out the top or the sides. Other than that though, you should be fine. Now the reason why the music doesn't reset for this level, I think, is because the game kind of treats this all as one big level. If you look at the mini-map, and this level has a mini-map, its orientation doesn't change, even though the camera is kind of facing at angle that is 90 degrees counterclockwise to what it was before. If we were to think of this part of the level and the last part of the level as one big map, I think that's because this level is pretty much one big map. Like, that door is basically just a cue to the camera to go, okay, it's time to turn 90 degrees to the left. Or when we get to the other side, it'll be 90 degrees to the right. I don't know if that's how it actually works. There might be a little bit more to it happening behind the scenes than that, but I think that's basically it. Also, I know I've been talking over it a lot, but I actually like this arrangement of the Stage 4 theme from Touhou 11. Now we're going to go to the other side. The other side is the Orin side. It'll be self-explanatory when we see it. At least, I think that's what the deal with these two areas is. This side is a lot less messed up than the Oku side. There's a lot of numbers in these chests. Although some of them are worthless, like the mysterious picture. It's kind of worthless. Also, the white porcelain vase. All you can really do with those two items is sell them. They're not going to increase your numbers. Well, I mean, they'll give you numbers, but they're not going to be bigger numbers. And, you know, don't think that by equipping them you're going to go into some kind of challenge mode. If you want challenge mode items, you can just buy them right from Renosuke, because he'll actually give you items that'll lower your stats to worse than they are if you're unequipped. That's if you really want, like, some kind of challenge mode thing going on, though. And here's all these bones and junk. Probably from a cat cart. And there's some cat carts. So there you go. They're wheelbarrows, but I think they can also be called cat carts. And it's not because Orin is a cat. I think there's other reasons for why it's called a cat cart. Oof, I better be careful. I might die if I'm not careful. Oh, get out of here, Crow. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say what my big problem with this level is. These two sections that I've gone through now, yeah, that's just exploration. It's not necessary to go through them, other than to look at them and look at chests and stuff and be like, oh hey, look how cool this area looks. This door's locked, also. Can't go through there. That's kind of the big problem I have with this level, is because instead of going through any part of the map or level or whatever, you could just make a mad dash straight for the boss, which is through this purple door. You don't have to get anything from the other two sides to unlock that door or anything. It's just open from the very beginning. This looks really cool, though. I mean, I think it's cool that there's like an Orin part, an Orin themed part, sorta, and like an Utsuho themed part, sorta. But I kind of wish that it was more of like a regular level structure where like I had to go through both parts of it as an actual level, instead of just, oh, here they are off to the side, but you know, if you want to fight the boss, just go straight ahead, because then you'd actually get to see the level instead of just going straight for the boss. And the reason for that is because like if you just pick to go straight, because there's no real indication of which way you gotta go, you just end up fighting the boss and like basically skipping a lot of the level and not really end up seeing the whole thing. Man, looks like Satori's just like looking for shit too. She must be bored just like Remy. She's like, come on and fight me. It's kind of weird for her because she's not like that in Touhou 11. Well, not completely like that. In Touhou 11, her dialogue kind of implies that she wants to try and go out of her way to avoid fighting a little bit. But Reimu and Marissa are just so hell-bent on playing Danmaku with her that she has to fight. Anyway, the last two boss fights are great. 3 fairies at the same time, or the 3 fairies light at the same time. Endoku, although, you know, I might be a little bit biased because it's Utsuro, but this brings us back to the standard boss fights for this game, which, they're okay, but they're not, spectacular. Also, that one move she did, she should have done before actually, using Reimu as a spell card, because that one particular spell card she has is what she uses to scan a person's brain to look for trauma in the first place, so she wouldn't be able to pinpoint Reimu and Marissa being Sakuya's trauma, or past traumas, namely from Touhou 6, in the first place without actually scanning for it. It's called Recollection, Terrible Souvenir, or Terrifying Hypnotism, depending on which difficulty you pick. The first one being easy and normal, and the other one being hard and lunatic. I'm just going by what I know from Touhou canon. That's legit. Like, fucking read up on it if you want. I leave the links in the description for a reason. So she's pretty much demonstrated everything she does. She doesn't do a whole lot. If you don't mess up a lot like I have so far, all of her attacks are actually pretty easy to dodge and not get hit by. Also, while I don't dislike this arrangement of Satori's theme, I don't think it complements the stage theme very well. It's good, but I think a different style might have fit the style of the stage theme a little bit better. The fairies who wear following you. That's good English. I mean, hey, typo here and there, big deal, but still.